coming back from his little stint on Houston radio. We do have Herschel Walker here in the studio. By the way, Craig, good, nice.
How you doing, guys?
How's everything? That's a nice welcome to Herschel Walker. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Herschel, always great to see you,
man. We got to choke each other out every now and then.
Yeah, I get it.
That's what we do.
So, Herschel,
this
is what happens. We get here Monday morning. We set up, and my man opens the show by saying Houston's a dump.
Oh,
and
whoa.
it's been like a reoccurring theme for him the last 5 days.
Yes.
So last night he's going to bed. He turns on the local news. They got a big mouth radio talk show host out of New York calls Houston a dump. They start attacking him.
It's all good.
But in Craig Carton, kind of the way he does things, he doesn't back down from anybody. The local Houston radio show here this morning.
You want me to come on and talk about it? I'll go on and talk about it.
So what did you say?
It's a dump.
Oh, geez. I can tell you, hey, he's not going to be running for office anytime soon, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Look at you.
Yes.
What's up with Herschel Walker?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm good. You know, you came and talked to us before your very first Bellator fight, which you won in like, I don't know, 19 seconds.
Yes.
And now you're back again, meaning you're addicted to it.
Oh, no,
I
absolutely love it. I absolutely love
it.
to fight it. You know, and I told you then, I've been fighting for a long time. People don't realize that. This is not something I just started, 8 years ago. I was doing this when I was in college.
But you were wrestling, right?
No, I was doing Taekwondo. I was Taekwondo, and I boxed a little bit when I was in college. So I've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, but this is a whole different thing.
Oh, no, totally different thing.
Like, this is, totally you get into that cage, and I know you're with the Bellator, but it's not, college Taekwondo or you and a couple buddies maybe sparring. This is no joke.
You said the same butterflies stepping into the ring like this when you put the football uniform on?
Well, you know what? It's a different type of butterflies because when you step into the cage, you're looking across at your opponent, and you realize this is not this is a fight. This is not a game or somebody playing with it. This guy gonna come across the cage and try to knock your head off. So you realize
and you're Herschel Walker. They're going after you.
And they don't like me at all, and I love it because I said that's gonna keep me on my game.
It's amazing. They don't like you at all, as we talked to the great Herschel Walker. But you're putting a face on a sport that basically, is kind of, not in the mainstream, but because you're involved, now all of a sudden the mainstream media becomes, kind of interested in it.
Well, because there's a lot of people all over the world, not just in the United States, but you start looking at fighters, they're all over the world, and they love the sport. You watch the crowds today, you have a demographic that's anywhere from 25 to 40, which is a great demographic to have right now. So they love the sport, and not just men, but you have a lot of female that love the sport as well. So it makes it interesting.
And it's something that I know it's Bellator, not UFC, but Dana White had said
don't mention UFC.
That's all right.
Yes, even though they were so.
But there's women now who grow up and have heroes.
Yes.
For women, but I look at you, and I know you guys have the big Rampage Jackson King Mo, I think, right?
Yes, they're coming up after Matt Mitchell, who was an NFL player. He's fighting Fedor.
So what's happening now is that Bellator, a lot of the young up-and-coming fighters wanted to get to UFC, and now guys that may not be UFC guys are now coming back, so there's a lot of name recognition now. So the sport's pretty healthy for both. It is what it is, but I'm trying to figure out why you want to put yourself in there. It's great to be in shape. It's great to spar. Is it merely you can't find the competition that a guy at your level needs, or is there something else?
No, I think it's something else. I love competition, and this is really, really tough. My love, and a lot of people don't know this, for the last 8 years, I've been treating soldiers. So I'm at a base once a month anywhere in the world, and you treat about 4,500 soldiers a year. And
what
one
do you
thing
mean by
about
you treat them?
For any type of illness that they have, from traumatic brain injuries or any type of things like that. And I've been doing it now for 8 years. And one of the things about the young men and women of service, they don't really remember Herschel Walker playing football,
right?
But they remember Herschel Walker fighting, and that's how I get their attention. That they're absolutely amazed that I go out and do. I do PT with them. I'm going out and I'm doing combative with them. I'm going out, doing whatever they're doing. They're just amazed that I can do that, and I think that gives me a platform. And I think this MMA world is something different, like a human chess match. And I think that's the only reason I'm doing it, as I'm running a company. And people forget, I run a couple of companies as well.
He's a busy guy. The interesting thing about Herschel, if you remember the last time we had him on, you asked him whether or not he thought he could still play in the NFL.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask you again. I know the answer.
No,
I know the answer.
Yeah, you know the answer, so you don't need to answer
that.
Yeah, that's what's so funny. Everyone keeps saying, I don't know how I can say that. And I said, guys, I'm not saying I'm going to go out there and do like
rush for 2,000 yards.
Right, I'm not going to do that. I said I can help a team out better than some guys. I'm not going to start naming names.
Would you want
and
to?
stuff? Yeah, and oh no, it's not something I want to do because it's so funny. I have a 17-year-old son who's graduating early. He's skipping the 11th grade. He's a senior. Want to go to UCLA. And I said, I want to be a dad as well. I love being a dad. I love the stuff I'm doing. And
isn't your other son a world-class cheerleader and gymnast?
He won 2 world championships. He's won 2 world championships, and the kid can run like the wind. And he's a great kid. Like I say, he speaks Chinese, Chinese fluently. And he wanted to do international business. Very intelligent young man.
I remember you talking about your son a few years ago now, but I have. Let's cut all the bull crap out of here.
Yes.
Let's talk like men, like we're good.
All right, we're
friends,
gonna talk like men.
Like your MMA guys.
No, I'm not.
There's
clearly,
one MMA guy.
I don't have the balls to,
And plus,
walk into an
plus,
MMA gym.
I'm gonna have to defend you and stuff because
doubt.
you're over here
Let me
and
ask you
everything.
this. Houston's fine. I just went
Yes.
on the radio. I cleared it all up. They're
Okay.
fine. Here's my thing.
Yes.
All right? And it's important that we talk about this right now. This is the great Herschel Walker.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
And now I lost my whole train of thought I wanted to ask you. 'cause
Something
you
about
had to
men.
open your mouth.
What do you mean? I'm opening my mouth.
You ruined the whole thing. I had
You
a
said you
whole,
wanted something about
whole
men.
line
You had
of
something
questions.
good. It was
I
about
know
the
what it is.
cheerleader.
When you're in college.
Yes.
And you're doing all them push-ups, and then the legends getting
sit-ups
out,
and
Yes.
push-ups.
and the push-ups, and during commercial breaks on TV, you
Yes.
100
Yes.
push-ups, and you're jacked up, and then the next commercial break, crunches, and you're a specimen, right?
Yes.
And if someone had told you then that you would have a child
Yes.
who was fluent in another language,
Yes.
who
2
could-
languages. He's fluent in Spanish and writes Spanish as well.
fluent
So
in
3 languages.
three
Everybody said 3 languages.
English, Chinese, and
Yes.
Spanish, and was an academic all-star.
Yes.
And the kid was off the charts, going to be successful in business, and he was your son, and you raised him, and
Yes.
right? You would have said back then, "What are you smoking?" Right?
That's exactly right.
And yet there they are, your children.
Yes.
They're going to be college graduates, off the charts smart, and they got the last name Walker, and you're their dad. And I would think you get more satisfaction watching that son of yours, whether it's gymnast
Yes.
or graduating high school or whatever it might be that they do, than you've ever gotten in your own life doing anything.
Well, I tell people that anyway. I say, guys, hug your child every day. Because right now this internet world is terrible. Hug your child every day. My son is 17 years old, and I would grab him and hug him and kiss him, and he don't like it. And I told him, I said, dude, until you're big enough to throw your dad off, I'm going to do it every day at his school. I don't care where he's at.
And he's in a bad spot because you can kick his
Yeah,
ass.
and I can outrun him too. So I
Herschel,
scared to run.
when did you realize that he was like a prodigy?
Well, you always raise your kid to be good. Everyone think no matter how ugly their child is, that he's the most beautiful thing in the world. And I always thought highly of Christian, and I just see his dedication. And sometimes I'm ashamed and I'm sort of guilty of it because I have this dire will dedication that if I want to do anything, I'm going to focus just on that, and I'm going to go at it like a Tasmanian devil. And I see him doing the same thing. And sometimes I love for him to say, God, you know what? Relax a little bit, have fun, and I'm sad sometimes that I see him like that, and even though I love it because I think it'll take him a long ways, but sometimes you got to have fun, you got to enjoy yourself, and that's what I like to see him do is enjoy himself. So
Take a break and look back and enjoy what you've built. You've shared with us, some of the issues you've had, depression and other
Yes.
things. So I have to ask, are you in a good place for a long time
I'm
now?
in a great place,
everything's good?
and that's what I do with our soldiers. We have young men and women going over to these godforsaken, I shouldn't say that. We're going over to the place that they're not like the United States. They have gunfire. I've been over there. They have bombs going off every night, and they're living a horror story every day. And they're coming back to the States with all types of problems, and we're calling them crazy. We're saying that they don't have any help. And I'm living proof that if you're willing to work, you can do almost anything. People don't realize, I went to this hospital, over 10 years ago. And I got out of this hospital, and people normally say Herschel is a nutcase, which I still am. But not only that, I'm fighting. I own 3 of the largest minority-owned businesses in the United States. I'm treating about 45 to 5,000 soldiers a year. And I'm doing all this. And I said, guys, whether I'm doing it or not, I feel better. And I want to help other people because I've been blessed, guys. I'm from Wrightsville, Georgia. And you think, Wrightsville, Georgia, nobody from Wrightsville, Georgia ever do anything. But I got an opportunity now to help people, and that's what I want to do.
Were you 5 years old and faster and bigger than everybody?
When I was 5 years old, I was fatter, than everybody. I had a stuttering problem. I looked like I was I probably, if you had saw me back then, you probably would have said we probably need to shoot him and stuff and get rid of him. Because I was. When I was little, I had a speech impediment. I was overweight, and I didn't even love myself.
You had a tough childhood.
I had a very tough childhood.
Until what point did it change when you physically became?
You know what happened to me, and you're going to think this funny. I got beat up in the 8th grade by a guy by the name of Anthony Logan. I still remember his name and stuff. And I'm not going to tell you how long ago. I remember Anthony Logan go. Sometime I'm tweeting looking for. No, I'm not. But anyway, I got beat up by him, and he woke me up. And people said, if I see him today, what will I do? And I said, I'm thinking. I was thinking because, I was always feeling guilty for myself. And when he beat me up, I said, enough is enough. That won't happen no more. And that was the day I started working out and started doing all that stuff and started dedicating myself to doing that. And
how old were you when that happened?
I was about 12. Yes, I was about 12. I tell people, yes.
That's great. And then you have, how many brothers and sisters do you have?
That was 7 of us. I had 3 brothers and 3 sisters.
Older brothers?
2 older brothers and 2 older sisters.
So when you came home,
middle child,
and obviously they're your brothers and sisters, and Anthony Logan to beat you up. Were they on you too? Did they motivate you, or they leave you alone?
My older brother said, "You got to take up for yourself. I don't care if you get beat up. You got to fight back." And and that taught me you got to fight back. I don't care how bad it get. You get your butt up off that ground. You don't just stay down there wallowing in your sorrows. You get up. You get up every time, and that's what I tell people today.
How come when you were 15 and 16 and you could have kicked his ass, you didn't go get him?
Well, I wanted to now. Don't hey, like you said, I got these personalities that want back there that think about it every night. But I had to keep him calm. I keep him calm, and I
it's a really amazing
Was there a point where we talked with Brandon Marshall, who has mental health foundation? He's been very open about his stuff. Did you have distinctly different personalities?
Well,
like you could name them, who you were being.
Well, you can say you can name them, but let me tell you, this will be a distinctive personality. When I step into the cage, I'm not the guy you're going to talk to right now. I tell people right now, you don't want Mike Tyson to step into that ring to babysit your child.
Right.
That's a different guy. And that's what I say to people when you competed. You're not the same guy when you step on that football field that you are now. The problem you have is sometimes you get it mixed up. That's what we have with our servicemen and women. They go over and they're at a high, man. You have a bullet flying over your head, this bomb going off. You're at a high that nobody don't understand. But sometimes when you go back, you can't get out of that high.
Sure.
But you got to learn to get out of that high. And sometimes if you have someone telling you you're crazy, you become crazy because that's what someone is putting on you. But what you got to learn is you can overcome that. It's not crazy. That was a God's gift. And I think God has blessed me that I have that dying will to compete. And I compete at my fullest.
Well, let me mention Bellator, Fedor and Mitrione. It's Saturday, February 18th. It's Bellator 172. Of course, it's on Spike. And you'll be fighting as well. Who are you fighting against?
They don't have a fight for me yet.
Oh, you're not fighting yet? How about Boomer?
I don't know.
Boomer, why don't you
No.
It's so funny. I
told you. Let's get in there, Boom.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
You always try to push us around. Why don't you push him around?
How old are you now?
I'm 53, but 54.
Yeah, so he's 2 years younger. He's a year younger.
You guys are the same age class,
so.
same weight class. Let's go.
Yes.
He likes to bully Al Dukes over here.
Oh, well, that's okay, though. You call bullying make him tougher.
Not really.
I shouldn't
say that. No, I'm not saying that.
You're not advocating.
I'm just trying to help Al out a little bit. That's all.
Anyway, Herschel, it's always good seeing you, man.
Hey, thank you guys for having me on.
If you do fight in the near future, we wish you the best of luck.
Hey, thank you. Now, God bless you guys.
Open door anytime, of course.
Man, I'll tell you, what an amazing story. It really is.
You or Bo Jackson, who's the better college running back?
Bo knows Herschel Walker. I tell everyone, and Bo, and everyone used to ask me this question, said, Bo is faster. Bo and Dion ran a 4.1. And I don't know why they would say this, but because I don't remember them ever beating Herschel Walker at anything. Think
That's
about
what
it.
I'm talking about.
So I can still go get it. Hey, they'll come on the show and say something different. But I say the proof is in the pudding because they got film today.
Yes,
so
they
look at the film.
Yes.
Good seeing you, Herschel Walker. Everybody, check out
Thanks,
Bellator on Spike. It's Bellator 172, 9 o'clock, February 18th from San Jose.